As I mentioned before, if you want to understand and get many codes, make sure you're under developer. You could record macro. Let's say macro 1. Okay. I want to replace yes. And start do some changes. As an example, I select them all by Control or Command A. Again, you cannot do this recording action with mouse. And I press Control or Command B. Just as an example, I press Control or Command H to bring the replace and replace any 4 with 4 just to check how it is working. Replace all, yes, and okay. Now you could stop recording, click on the macros, bring your macro where it is stored. I think this is on my active document. Select your macro and you could click on edit to see any commands generated here. I delete them and going back to the Microsoft Word, you could click on this icon or Alt or Option F11 again. Note that if I go to the macros and bring default pre-made macros on Word commands, anything like previous one, less command, etc., you cannot edit them. But yet you could record them and understand, but because they are built-in and special commands, actually you won't see all details. Just trying, I start recording macro 1, it is fine, okay. Go to macro and I search for less command, run, and current keyboard okay. And I will stop recording, developer stop recording, and I close this one, no. And if I go macros and bring my macros again here on active documents, macro and edit, as you see, there is not a list of all commands how it is working. Just you could call this and make a simulation of that macros. So you don't have access every details actually working on background to generate the list of commands. Yet you could work with them. I remove that again. Another method to get many attributes at the same time, just as an example, if I go home, on the font section we have font setting bold, italic, underline, font size, font face, etc. But note that if I click on the dialog box, we have many other features which it is containing the previous options but even more. And in the advanced also we have more features. And note that when you're pressing OK, by default every value is listed here. It is setting is it enable or it is not, and it is working. So you could use this benefits to record it and get the all attributes at the same time for font settings. What do I mean by that? If I go developer, record macro, again macro 1, okay. And if I go home, click on the font settings, or you could use shortcut, and doesn't matter if you change or not. Just if I press OK, everything will apply with the parameters already did set. So I go developer and stop it. And again go macro and make sure you selected your macro and edit. Now you will see the list of all attributes was containing there. Something like the font name. Look at here. I will describe about width block how it is working, but selection.font. So it is about font. Font name, size, it is bold. Is it true or false? Italic, underline color, and more features there. I could even do something like paragraph or any other dialog box. I do that as an example. Record macro, okay. Go back home. This time I'm going paragraph, and you don't have even changed anything, okay. And again go back developer, stop recording, macros, and edit your macro, or you could directly go to the Visual Basic editor and find your macro. Now this is selection paragraph format. Left indentation, right indent, space before, auto space, etc. And of course, you could do multiple to record at the same time. I'm going back, again record macro, okay. And let's say this time I'm going to the layouts, page setup, okay. Paragraph, doesn't matter if I click there or from home, it's still it is paragraph settings, okay. And even let's say this time I'm going to the preferences, footnote settings, and you could insert or apply or even undo. Developer, stop, macro, and edit your macro, and there it is. You could find whole store selection. It was selected with about the active document style because it was selected, and I did some attributes. Now we have page setup on active document, all attributes, and then paragraph format again, and even section for the footnote options. So you could do reverse engineering easily with this method. In the next video also I will show you other methods to get reference and help or list of commands.